Hey everyone, Do here. Welcome back to World of Tanks. For you, we've got another replay, and this is my third ace in the IS-22, and if I'm really honest, it's probably, probably the easiest one I've had so far in this tank. You know, that second one when I got 4.5K, that was fairly easy, I think. I did have to put some effort into it, but this one just felt like, what happened? To me, this shouldn't have been an ace. This is like the second episode of Not the Place for an Ace. So yeah, I am still working my way to 3 mark this tank, which has been not too bad recently. Actually, I've had some decent games where I've gotten 3K for a little bit, and it wasn't too bad. If you guys don't exactly, know too much about this tank, this is just the Tier 8 Soviet double-barreled heavy tank. Definitely not the greatest tank. I've learned a little bit more about playing it. As you guys know, I've kind of explained how I play it in previous videos, so if you want to go watch those videos after this one, if you're curious. Anyway, this map is, I forget the name of this map, but I know that it is fairly decent in the north and kind of in the center. The whole map itself is just kind of different for each tank type, and that allows for some flexibility, especially with a tank like this that has okay turret armor for its tier and good gun depression. Now, I do get a little bit lucky here, which you guys will see near the end, but guys, I was able to get 6,000 damage combined, not in less than six or so minutes. Now let me clarify one thing. This thing does not have armor when you're fighting tier 9s or 10s most of the time. It doesn't. And there's a lot of confusion on when to use the armor on this tank. A lot of people don't know. But when you're fighting tier 6 and 7 and same tier vehicles, you can side scrape and you can use that armor. But when you're having to fight, unless if the tier 8s, like if it's a big tank destroyer like an ISU or whatever it is, and they're using Prem, they most likely are going to be able to pen you even if you are side scraping. It doesn't happen all the time, though. It depends on RNG, and that was a lovely shot there into the Yagaru. And, again, there, look at that luck shot. Ooh, man, I was so lucky to bounce that. I mean, what are the odds of that happening? Now, another thing, too, like I was saying earlier about the ace. The only reason I actually get an ace this game is, A, base XP, which is everything, but 2, all the assistance damage I got and all my main damage that I did to work together. It was kind of pretty much an even balance of it. I got 3,000 spotting and 3,000. I get 3,000 actual damage, and so I guess that was enough for an ace. I think it was around not quite 1,400 base XP, roughly around there though. I think I actually did a video a while back ago on my very first video on the 703 on this map, where I think it's called I love double barrel tanks or something like that, but it is just a fun, it's an enjoyable map as long as I'm careful and as long as, you know, you don't poke too much. A bunch of times I've made the mistake of thinking that I would be able to push without actually, you know, receiving any consequences for it, and I've learned that the hard way. Also, on this tank, I try not to spam Premo too much because A, it's expensive, but B, the base AP pen on this tank on these 100mm guns is actually like 230, I think, which is insane for a tier 8 heavy, or just tier 8 in general for standard rounds. I think most of them are probably like 210, 190, or yeah, I could be wrong about that, but so you guys just see I'm just farming, moving around, trying to use my turret armor to my advantage and trying to hide my weak hull, and unfortunately that guy does kind of just snap it a little bit, and he does pay for it. I was actually surprised that shot hit, to be honest. It was just barely enough to hit him, and I get lucky here too. I don't know where this IS-3 was aiming, but yeah, I have no idea what that was about. But yeah, so basically, this tank is, when you're top tier and against tier 7s and 6s and stuff like that, you definitely want to play like a normal heavy tank, because if you don't, you're gonna, you don't need to be playing like a medium, but B, also, it's that also you have to be that top tier. You have to basically dominate the heavies because there's no one else to do it for you. When you're lower tier and you're having to fight tier 10s, you play as a support tank. You have to. That's basically the best way that I've been able to actually play this tank. And that's pretty much what I found that works best. Ideally, it is, if you can get it in a hold down position, that is the best position to be in, is hold down. Kind of like I showed you here in this game. And you know, when you're shooting things and you have your teammates helping you, it becomes great. Most tanks are really good at being support tanks, because if your teammate or your ally is distracting the enemy, then that allows you to farm them, that allows you to take advantage of that, and hopefully, you know, take out some dangerous targets. This tank can be a bait tank, but again, it doesn't really have armor, unless if you're top tier and you're going to be super aggressive, and you're going to be, you have to also be super careful of what you're doing as well. But yeah, that's basically just a short round of how I play this tank. And again, I was surprised that this was an ace, but the cooperation between me and my teammates was the reason that I aced this, and the base XP, obviously. Anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think of this tank. And yes, if you're curious, I need 95% for 3 marks, and I'm at roughly 87 right now. So I am super close. I'm taking a break from it because usually for markings, especially 3 markings, when you get a bad game, that's when you should stop, because after that it just becomes a continuous cycle. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. See y'all later.